Well, it's the time of year when many young people pack up their sleeping bags and make their way to summer camp. And thanks to this place, that's an opportunity that's available to everyone. I'm Simon Hyatt, filling in for Janella Hamilton, and we've hit the road to come to Camp Easter Seal. Located near Watrous, Saskatchewan, each year they welcome 700 people with disabilities from across Saskatchewan. We'll get an inside look today. It's time to light the fire and start the boat. Here's what else is coming up on Go. We'll meet a woman who's turned her life around, in part through jingle dancing. And we find out about one of Camp Easter Seal's biggest annual fundraisers, the Dropzone. Many of the longtime campers here at Camp Easter Seal have come to think of the staff as a sort of second family. In our first story, Janella Hamilton introduces us to another young woman who has found a second family, this one within the jingle dance community.
Dancing to the beat of the drum and the sounds of her jingle dress, Randy Candeline is reminded of her journey and how far she's come today.
This dress in itself is a healing dress. The sound it makes is to kind of rid away the darkness, the sickness. And when I say a healing dress, I'm not talking about just physical sickness. I'm talking about the mental health issues, the grieving, the sadness, the addiction. So when we're dancing, the spiritual high of being around the drum and being in that environment and doing what you love is worth it. It's been about 6 years now that I've danced consecutively as an adult, and it's opened so many doors for me. My dancing has also become a way of coping as well.
Growing up on a reserve in Alberta, Candeline became involved with traditional ladies jingle dancing at a very young age. Experiencing some family instability during her childhood, dance quickly became a safe outlet, creating a sense of community and belonging.
Growing up, my mom was a residential school survivor, so she lost her language, she lost her culture as a child. Because of that, she was very angry when I was a child, so it was hard for me to have a relationship with her. Despite her anger, she always made it a point to take me to ceremony, take me to powwow, take me to cultural events, to show me who I was.
Despite finding her identity through cultural dance, Candeline faced personal demons, including her battle with alcoholism.
I look at pictures of myself when I was young, and I'm just so amazed of how much I've transformed in these few years of growing, including with my journey with sobriety and compared to who I was when I was drinking. I've been down in Montana where I was having baths in a sink because I was so broke. Like, I couldn't afford showers, so I've roughed it, but you know, I've always overcame. I've gained so much friendships and families through my dancing. It also provides like a healthy environment to go to powwows, to go to round dances, to go to different ceremonies, a sober event where it's welcome for the whole family, where we celebrate who we are and we don't need negative influences to feel good about ourselves, and it's really a healing thing from the inside out.
Having learned firsthand the power dance has to help heal, Candeline continued to persevere and focus on her passion for jingle dancing, which made losing a spiritually important part of her regalia even more devastating.
Feathers need to be earned. They're not something you can just go out and buy. They need to be earned and they need to be passed on. But when I came home after the powwow, they still weren't there, and my heart just sunk. Like, it was just a nightmare come true for me. I spent a lot of time searching for my feathers. I literally spammed the internet with posters and flyers and just pleading for people, if they've seen my feathers, to please return them to me. At the same time, I had a miscarriage. So it was like a double whammy. I lost something, a part of me, and I lost my feathers that I carried like a baby.
But once again, Candeline held her featherless head up high, putting her efforts into finishing her studies, earning not only a degree in Indian social work, but a new set of feathers.
The best message I can send that I learned from my dancing was, whatever your dream is, whatever goals you have for yourself, don't be afraid to work towards it. Don't be afraid to put in the hours. Don't, sacrifice is needed, but whatever you put into it, you're going to get back tenfold, as I've experienced from my dancing.
Candeline hopes to continue passing her teachings on to kids through her career as a social worker. Her 6-year-old stepdaughter is already following closely in her footsteps, often performing alongside the jingle dancer with a smile on her face and passion in her heart.
It is an absolutely gorgeous day to be out at Camp Easter Seal just outside of Watrous, Saskatchewan, and I'm very happy to be joined by Joyce Phillips, who is from the Abilities Council in Saskatoon. Joyce, this is, I know, a lot of fun for you, but also the folks that you invite out here. Once a year, you open up the camp, supporters can come out and see what it's all about. Why do you do this?
You know, it's important for our donors to see where their money is going, and so Camp Easter Seal is our flagship program. So we want to highlight all of the activities that we have. We'll show them what camp really looks like when it's running, when it's operating. We've got campers here, and thankfully it's a nice day.
Absolutely a beautiful day. And right around the corner, we have one of the biggest annual fundraisers that helps support this place, keeping it going year after year, the Dropzone Event. Talk about preparations for that. Once again, back in Saskatoon for the 11th year, I understand.
Yes, it is. 10 years in Regina, and actually the first year in Prince Albert.
Very cool.
So, yes. So people, it's a fundraising event, so people do raise funds in order to rappel off a 22-story building in Saskatoon. And we do all the training, of course, so there's no risk at all to the rappellers, but you still have to be brave enough to do it.
Now, Joyce, have you done it? Have you done the rappel?
No, have you, Simon?
I have. I think maybe the first or second year you invited needy people to do it. I summoned up my courage, but you're right. It's not easy. It's very weird making yourself step off of a building. But you're right. They do train you. They make it easy, but it's an exhilarating and a little bit scary.
It is. I did an interview on the top of the building. I didn't rappel. So I'm a big supporter. I'll be at the bottom cheering you on.
Well, and you're probably very busy that day. I think you've got a good excuse for maybe why you can't rappel.
That is a good excuse, yeah.
And talk about the fundraising side of that event, how big of a difference that makes to the Abilities Council and, of course, this beautiful facility where we are today.
You know, Camp Easter Seal is run 4 months out of the year, and it costs us $1 million. So you can appreciate that the funds are required. We have to maintain 100 acres of property here, and especially make sure that our campers have fun. We have 700 campers a year that come out, and it's important that all of our program areas are running, and sometimes the high water level might interfere with that, but this year it's been really good.
That's fantastic. We're going to find out a little bit more specifically about what happens out here during camp a little bit later on in the show with Sue. But as you mentioned, it takes a lot of money to keep this place running. Now, last year, you were nice enough to once again invite us to send a couple of people from Shaw to do the rappel, and we decided to do some fundraising, and the great company that I work for has done a little bit of fund matching. So today, I get to give you a check for $500. How's that? Hey, there you go.
So much to Shaw. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, you guys do such great work here, and we love supporting you guys, and thank you for inviting us out, and maybe one of these years, maybe we should go down together. We can get matching costumes, Joyce. You and I, what do you think? We'll rappel down the building at the same time.
Let's think about that.
Let's think about it. Maybe for year 12.
Okay.
Thanks, Joyce.
Thank you, Simon.
One of the biggest annual fundraisers for Camp Easter Seal is the Dropzone, which takes place in Saskatoon on August 23rd. Shaw TV's own Justin Tendek took part in this event last year, and as we found out at the time, he has a very special reason to support this cause. Sometimes a hero falls. And when one of the Shaw team's participants in the annual superhero-themed Easter Seal Dropzone was forced to withdraw, as is often the case in comic books and mythology, a new hero rose to take his place.
Oh, and that is...
While Shaw TV's Justin Tendek may have found out he would be taking part in the 22-story descent just a few days ago, His mom says he has been preparing for this daredevil activity his entire life.
When he was about 3 years old, there was a hot air balloon ride going on, and he wanted to go in it, and his older brother did. So at 3 years old, he was up riding a hot air balloon, and he'd be looking down at us, waving. So yeah, I think this has been in him for a while.
I think I'm going to let it rip. I like going fast, so I'm definitely going to try and do that as fast as the thing's going to allow me.
With his parents on hand from Prince Albert to watch, Justin bravely prepared to rappel down the side of Carlton Tower. He, along with Grady Goodman, made up the Shaw team, which raised nearly $5,000 to support a trio of initiatives of the Abilities Council.
Camp Easter Seal, which is the only fully accessible camp in Saskatchewan. So it helps to give children and youth with disabilities the opportunity to get to experience camp and get to experience the fun. The other thing they get to do is the Summer Fun program, which is an urban day camp. And the third thing is to put technology in the hands of children and youth, so adaptive technology.
In addition to allowing him an opportunity to bring out his inner adrenaline junkie, it's a cause that's especially important to Justin.
When I was little, I was actually in a wheelchair myself. So the cause of this event really resonated with me. And so when I heard I could help kids be kids, that's something I didn't really get to do. Like, I had to sit on the sidelines and watch as kids played.
Born with a club foot that required surgery and the assistance of a wheelchair and other aids until about grade 4, Justin believes his experiences as a child have encouraged him to take risks like this as an adult.
I've always wanted to like climb mountains and stuff, go for walks, through the woods, climb big rocks. So yeah, now that I'm able to do that, I want to do it more.
Stopping only briefly to take a couple of photos, Justin made good on his promise to make it a speedy trip down to the ground.
I feel great. That was a lot of fun. Adrenaline's really flowing. It's a little scary at the start, but once you get going, it's a lot of fun.
And thanks to the support of sponsors, $150,000 was raised for the Abilities Council's programs by this year's superheroes. For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Simon Hyatt. So it is a very warm day here at Camp Easter Seal. So I've done the smart thing and found a nice spot in the shade, and I made a new friend. This is Jesse. Jesse, how are you doing? It's camp day. What do you think? Are you excited?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Camp Easter Seal. What do you love about this place?
Food, animal food.
That's awesome. Continuing on with our coverage from Camp Easter Seal down in southern Saskatchewan. Very happy to be joined by Camp Manager Sue Wynn. Sue, we've known you for several years now. I've been lucky enough to come out here a few different times. This place is really magical. This is something pretty incredible that happens here each and every summer. Talk a little bit about your relationship with Camp Easter Seal and what it means to you.
It is truly a magical place. I used to be a camp counselor when I was in university, and I got to experience that side of Camp Easter Seal. And now being the camp manager, I'm able to find better ways and easier ways, as also fun ways for people to enjoy camp as a whole. So for the camp counselors, having running water in the cabin, having air conditioning in the cabin, and also having heat in the cabin on the nights that are cold. For the campers, having the programming that fits their abilities. That is what we aim for, making sure that they are enjoying and at the same time having therapeutic effects for them. So making arts and crafts is not only making an arts and crafts item, they are improving their gross motor skills, their fine motor skills. So a lot of things like that get put into the programming that we have out here. My connection with the campers, I see them every year, and they come back, and the first thing they do is they come to my office and they just say, "So good to see you again." We talk with them on the phone during January for applications, but to actually see them out at camp is amazing. This is the one place that they call their home, the one place that they get to do what they would like to do, and everybody is on the same playing ground. Everybody is the same. They enjoy the weather, whether it's raining or not. They just love being out here for that part.
And I think what you talk about there, that level playing ground where everyone comes here and can have really a normal summer camp, this is something that maybe for a lot of them they don't get in their day-to-day lives, and how fantastic is it that 700 of them each and every year get to come out and experience a bit of that.
Exactly. They forget hospital visits. They forget, doctor's visits, all of those procedures that they have to do at home. They come out here, kids get to be kids. They just want to have water fights on a hot day like today. And the adults, they want to just sit around and have coffee and chit-chat with their friends. So it's a way for them to connect with each other, and also a way for them to connect with the counselors that come out here to work every year. The counselors love those moments. When they make that connection, it's amazing. They just carry it on even after camp is done. We actually form sort of like our own community. We have past campers, past counselors. They still remember how magical camp is.
Absolutely, and I think you touched on it in your first answer, just with the evolution of things, the way things have changed. This place has really grown dramatically each and every year, and I know a lot of that is because of the support you get from the community. Just talk about the way this place has evolved over the years since you were a counselor here.
Yes, exactly. We have a lot of donations of hospital beds that are able to have campers be in different positions for comfort when they're sleeping. So little things like that make a big difference in their stay out here. Making sure that the cabins the doors are wide enough for the wheelchairs to go through, because nowadays we have different sizes in wheelchairs, and also the ability for the campers to go from one end of camp to the next without having any physical barriers. It is 100% wheelchair accessible, so that is the wonderful thing of Camp Easter Seal.
Absolutely. You've talked a lot about the amount of fun you have and the staff have and the campers have. This is also probably an awful lot of work for you. Can you give us an idea of just what your day-to-day life is like, let alone on a day like this where you have a few hundred visitors coming out as well?
Yeah, exactly. Well, my day is pretty early and it goes on to pretty late. I just like to do that so that I know that everyone is taken care of, counselors and staff. So I wake up in the morning to make sure that the kitchen is running well, make sure that the counselors are awake and the campers are awake and everybody has all the equipment and supplies that they need, making sure that the nurses have what they need to do their job well, and then get my in-office work done. And then I also go out and check the program areas to make sure that they have what they need to make sure that the campers are enjoying the program areas. So, making sure that little things work to make sure that the camp is enjoyed as a whole. So, yes, my day is busy, but again, I make those connections with the campers. That's how I connect with them, and that's how I also connect with my staff. So that's my day.
That's great. Sounds like a pretty good job, and I can tell you really enjoyed it. Sue, thank you so much for once again having us out to Camp Easter Seal. It's been a blast today, and have a great rest of the summer.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Come on down to Camp Easter Seal. Yeah!
Welcome.
Well, we're having an awful lot of fun here at camp today, learning about this fantastic facility and the work they do to support people with disabilities in our province. But we're going to briefly head back into the city, however, to learn about another very worthy cause, this one in support of people who suffer from inflammatory bowel disease.
It's typically considered rude to speak during a musical performance, but the Music for the Gut show is designed to spark conversation. Participants believe talking about the cause, Crohn's and colitis, is one of the best ways to beat it.
I found out that second cousins of mine have it. A good friend of my mom's steps up and says that her son has it. So all these people come out of the woodwork because it's a disease that people just don't talk about. So hopefully we can keep the conversation going.
Rob Armstrong has been a part of the Music for the Gut ensemble since the first show in 2011. He says he keeps coming back because of his friend Geordie Houghton, who not only organizes and performs in the show, but is one of 3 members of his family who suffers from inflammatory bowel disease. Armstrong says it's been remarkable to watch the evolution of the show since the first performance in a small church with no air conditioning.
So we each did about 2 pieces, some people did 3 and a few group numbers. Well, now the group is swollen to such a size that there are very few solos now, a lot more small group numbers, duos, trios, quartets, just because the time frame isn't there and people love the group numbers.
This will be just the second Music for the Gut stint for Sean Stevenson, who found out last year just how much there is to prepare for when joining the group.
It can be a lot to learn for the newbies, but definitely worth it at the end of the day when you're up on the stage performing for the people and raising money for such a great cause. It really is an amazing experience.
Part of the challenge of the show is the wide variety of musical styles that are involved.
I really like all of our musical theater pieces, but there are some rock tunes which are really fun for, of course, all the singers that do classical stuff and are trained as musical theater singers. It's fun for them to like branch out and, you know, sing Journey or sing something like that.
I really enjoyed the gospel stuff. I think it's really fun to kind of just really put yourself out there, and it's out of my comfort zone, so I think it's fun to kind of step out of your box and explore new musical options. The music is so much fun, all the people, it's such great friends. You meet so many amazing and talented people here from Saskatoon and around the area, and it's really great to come back year after year and see how much people have grown and changed and to collaborate with them musically.
There will be 2 chances to keep the conversation about inflammatory bowel disease going, as Music for the Gut plays August 25th and 27th at Cornerstone Church.
Bring your friends and come out, because you never know who has this disease, and it's really great to support, and the more people you tell, the more you might find out about someone you know that has this.
For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Simon Hyatt.
That's going to do it for today's show from Camp Easter Seal, located beside beautiful Manitou Lake. Don't forget, the Easter Seal Drop Zone happens in Saskatoon August 23rd. You could head down to Carlton Towers and cheer on those brave superheroes as they rappel down the side of the building. For more information on that event, as well as this beautiful facility that it supports, visit abilitiescouncil.sk.ca. I'm Simon Hyatt, filling in for Janella Hamilton. We'll see you next time on Go.